Hey everyone, Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, along with my good friend Mick, who you may remember has joined me in a few videos. He was my co-host in the Gamer mockumentary that we made a couple years ago. You've joined me in the past for a couple of news and updates videos. Oh, and actually one of the first videos that I did as part of the Dice Tower Kickstarter stretch goal was we did a video where we talked about board games in music.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was actually really a fun conversation.
Yeah, it was.
And what's neat about that is you come more from a music background.
Yes.
I appreciate music and I like music, but I have more the arts and geeky culture, as you may have guessed, background. And so we kind of have the flip on that respect.
Yeah, I have so much geek. I only have so much geek in me.
Yeah.
And so I choose to geek out about music. And so I have very little left over for games. I love playing games. Mm-hmm. But I can't geek out on them as much as the people I play games with.
Because you have that quota, and
Yeah.
you have your reserve.
Precisely.
That's understandable. I understand. I wanted to establish kind of the background a little bit, because I wanted to go and do your top 10 games as someone who has always gamed, enjoys games, but isn't like the hardcore gamer geek. I mean, do you, Mick, have a Board Game Geek account?
No.
My knees went weak there for a minute. I can't even imagine living in that world anymore. So you've always had gaming, like I said, always been present in your life, but not the hardcore acquisition disorder, frothing at the mouth, looking for the latest hotness. So I've asked you to compile your top 10 favorite board games of all time from your perspective, from this kind of fringe geek, shall we say?
Yes.
So this fringe geek perspective. So I am dying to know what we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about your 10 through 6 in this video, and then the follow-up video we'll do your top 5.
Okay.
So let's not waste any more time. Let's actually get right to the neat bumper that I'll make, and let's get right to your number 10.
Number 10. So I know you said board game, but I'm going with tabletop games in general here.
Forget it. God, I can't even. That's fine.
Number 10 is a customizable card game.
Okay.
And
that counts.
Going back, I haven't played this game in probably 15 years, but it's still one of my favorite games out there.
Okay.
The Star Trek Next Generation customizable card game.
Hang on. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. All right. So,
and there they are.
Mick and I have been playing Star Trek Fleet Captains together every now and then. And one of the things that we've done is, you know me, I can't leave a game well enough alone. I've wanted to create more crew members, more equipment, more things to happen. So I asked you about a couple months ago to dig up your collection of the Star Trek CCG game. And
Done.
Here you go. This is box after box after box after box after bag after binder of all your Star Trek cards. So tell me what it is about this game that you enjoy so much.
Well, this was my introduction to customizable card games, for one. I had never experienced such a thing before, and that thrill of opening a new booster pack. And
oh yeah.
of course, when I discovered this game, I was 20 years old, and so broke. Every spare $3 I had, yeah. I'm down at that store opening up a new packet, and it was just thrilling. The game itself was well done. It wasn't just battling back and forth. There was plenty of story going on. In fact, I didn't watch The Next Generation until I started playing this game.
Really?
Really.
Oh, that is really cool. So that gave you a whole new interest in Star Trek in general then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that doesn't answer my other question that I had in mind though then. Because Magic the Gathering came, a little bit before this one. But that didn't do anything for you and you didn't get into that. What was the difference between the Star Trek CCG versus Magic that made you get into this one versus Magic?
Part of it was the storyline. I didn't have any reference point with Magic. With this, I at least knew that Star Trek: The Next Generation existed.
Okay.
I had watched maybe the first season, really.
Okay.
And that was, what, 1987?
Around there, yeah.
And this was 1995 when this CCG came out. My good friend Mark, that we would get together every Tuesday and play this, we would get together just at the right time so that the Next Generation reruns were playing on the TV while we played.
Well, in the background.
In the background.
That's theme.
Yes.
That's immersing yourself in theme. So you said, how long has it been since you've played it?
It's probably been 12, 15 years maybe.
But it still hangs on in your top 10, right there to
Yep.
the tip of the top 10.
Yes.
Cool.
Just because of how much enjoyment I got out of the game. Even though I haven't played it in a while because no one else plays this game. It still sticks around.
Awesome. No, I can totally understand that. Okay. So that's number 10, the Star Trek customizable card game. I'm going to clean off the table, and then we'll be right back with number 9. So, what's the next one on your list?
Okay, number 9 is one that I'm sure you probably don't have in this mountain of games behind us here. But it's another game that I haven't played in a long time.
Is it this one?
It is not.
Okay.
It's a game called Go For It.
You mean the old ancient game with the checkers called Go?
No, not that one.
Oh. So, Go For It.
Go For It.
My brain is barely remembering the old 80s long boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fill in these gaps here.
So it was kind of a game show sort of thing where you're getting cars and houses, and it was really a very simple 80s game.
It was one of those roll and move.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of a combination between Life and Payday almost. You know?
Probably. With a
Probably.
it's been so long. See, that's the other thing. It's the reason why it's on this list isn't because of how great a game it is or anything.
Well, I was going to ask, what would make an 80s roll and move game be so high on your list?
Because I played it by myself.
So, okay.
A lot of you out there probably have those games where you've spent days in your room playing games by yourself, taking both turns.
Or in the case of Risk, all 6 turns for yourself.
Yes.
And inventing little accents and characters to go along with them all. Okay, yeah, I can understand exactly why this would rank so high on your list. Was it the enjoyment you got out of playing the game solo, and you just loved the game so much you just would play it by yourself? Or was it just that in playing it by yourself, it became a special experience?
It started out, when I was 8 years old, I really did like the game, and not all the time would someone else want to play with me.
Okay.
So I would just play it by myself. And after a while, it became that game that I just played by myself.
That became the thing that it was to you.
Yeah, that was the primary way I played that game after a while.
See, and that's the thing. I can totally understand that. And I think all of us have things growing up that you would discover on your own, or you would develop a variation of on your own. It became your thing that you would do, like Go or Risk or other things like that. So, yeah. And it's so funny how with, so long, not the best game in the world, so long since you've played it last, but that experience made it so special that it stays on your list at whatever number this is that we're talking about.
Number 9.
Number 9. Go for it. Not just go.
Go for it.
Go for it. Let's go for number 8. Did you see what I did there? I used the name of that game.
Oh.
So, okay, number 8.
Number 8 is yet again another game I have not played in a while.
Okay, fair enough.
But this is why these ones are at the bottom of my top 10 list.
Okay, that makes fair.
So, an RPG called Chemical Empires that you in fact made.
Oh my, really?
Yes. That game has probably provided more hours of glorious entertainment than any other game that I've played.
This is your number 8.
This is number 8.
Oh my, yeah. Okay,
as far as time enjoyed with it, we would spend hours all night playing this game. Sometimes 2 nights in a row, where a lot of RPGs were, you're casting spells and stuff. It was all science, so to speak.
Alchemy.
Yeah, that's the right term for it. Providing to do these spells, so to say.
For all intents and purposes, it was all the spells, all the magic. It was just trying to have a chemical, scientific, alchemy, logic behind
Precisely,
it all.
Yeah. But it was a well done game. Up until that point, I only had much experience with Toon.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was a BattleTech RPG.
Oh yeah. BattleTech and CityTech. Yep.
And the Marvel RPG.
I personally never played that one, but I know of Champions or I'll you know what?
Yeah.
Look, there it is in post. I guess I should say at this point, I don't know what's on your top 10 list. You have not shared. I purposely told you I don't want to know. I want to be surprised going through. This is a big surprise. I've kind of made my own mental list, wondering what's going to be on your list. Star Trek customizable card game. I thought it was going to be like number 3. This one didn't even enter into my thinking that this would be on the list. But that is really neat. So basically a homemade, homebrewed little RPG that we would play in middle school and high school is number 8 on your list.
Yes.
Chemical Empires.
Yes.
Good old Chem-M. All right. Well, let's continue on to number 7.
Okay, number 7 is a whole series of games that are really just reskinned, but Flux.
Okay.
I love the randomness of Flux. I'm a big fan of random.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Carry polyhedral dice in every coat that I have.
Would you like to share with the audience how you pick out which album to listen to?
All of these games behind you here, that's what my house looks like with records.
Yes, the old LPs,
course,
right? And so stacked up. I mean, shelf after shelf after shelf. Yeah.
And so when I want to browse through those, it's a little overwhelming, and so a D20 will help me pick which shelf to pick from.
Didn't you at one point tell me that you had a system down where you had like 3 or 4 dice that would tell you the wall to the shelf to the quadrant to the actual like LP on?
It gets
complex.
It gets complex. So yes, I like random.
I like some controlled chaos, but you are way out there. You are total red mana, total chaos, the total random, total chaos. So,
yes.
Okay, so get back
chaotic, if you will, though.
Let's get back to Flux here.
Yeah, Flux. Flux is a great game. It's easy to play with anyone because there's one rule to start with.
To start with, yeah.
And there's so many different skins of it. We've got Firefly, we've got Wizard of Oz.
Would you say, in your experience, that the different skins and retheming of Flux is simply just another variation of the same game? Or does it add layers and make changes that actually make the different editions stand out from each other?
Yes, I think that different editions do stand out from each other. Star Flux is probably...
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. When they added creepers, that really changed the game. But not... I shouldn't say really changed the game, because nothing in that game, the evolution of it, drastically changed it.
Yeah, the evolve. That's better. Yeah, evolves it a little bit each time.
Yes.
Yeah. Now Flux doesn't get a lot of love from a lot of the board game circles that I find myself involved in. But I'm of the camp that if there's a game that you enjoy, that's all that matters, in it. Of the versions of Flux, what's your top 3 favorite versions?
Oh boy.
Tell me now.
Star Flux.
Okay.
Star Flux is my favorite. Star Flux, Monty Python Flux, and Stoner Flux.
I'm familiar with the Monty Python one, but real quick, what's the unique thing about the Stoner one?
The Stoner one has many unique things in it. We live in Oregon,
yes.
So it's, you get to use all the cards in Stoner Flex. There are a handful of cards that say, until Prohibition is ended, do not use these cards.
So let's just say it's dripping with theme.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It commits. It goes. Okay.
It really does.
Okay.
That is the one Flux that has a "It's my turn" marker.
So you can remember.
So you can remember.
I get it. Package delivered. Let's move on to your number 6. What say? All right, so rounding out this first half of your list, your number 6, what is your number 6 favorite game of all time?
My number 6 is a 2-player game, and it's one that I didn't start playing until just a couple years ago.
Okay. Star
Realms.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes,
really?
I love Star Realms.
I did not know you liked it that much.
I really do.
Huh.
The actual card game is, and I like actual cards over iOS games. In this case, I play the iOS version more often.
For convenience?
For convenience.
Makes sense. Yep.
Because I can play, what's that word? Asynchronous?
Oh, yes, asynchronously. Yes. That's right up there. That's a board game. That's right up there with orthogonally.
Yes.
Words I've learned since I've been in the board game stuff. So asynchronously.
It's a game that I can play asynchronously, and the scoring with the cards in Star Realms is awful.
What makes it awful?
The cards that you flip them over, it's, 10 points on one side, 5 on the other,
okay.
That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have cards to try and keep track of your score. It's a pain.
That is my least favorite part of the pack. I can see why they did it that way, but yeah, it's the thing.
Yeah, it's always good to use something like, use dice or something else to score it. But doing it on the iOS is it scores for you.
That's true.
But yes, we'll play that game on trips. It's a great game to just keep in your carry-on bag and play on the floor at the airport.
Now, do you have any of the expansions that they have released for it?
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, my favorite card is from one of the expansions. I want to say it's called Mega Hauler.
Okay.
Great Federation ship that allows you to take a card, a ship, and put it on top of your deck. Plus, it gives you victory points. It's really expensive. It's a 7-point card.
But still, what I hear you saying is that even at 7 points, it's way overpowered and broken.
Yeah, but I'll take it.
that's how that's my wife told me when we would play Magic. She would sometimes add a card to her deck that I would say that is just broken. It's too powerful. And then one day she just looked at me and said, "If you think it's so overpowered, why don't you use it?" So there you go. I'll take it. I'll take the card.
Yes.
So Star Realms.
Star Realms.
Have you played any of? I believe Star Realms is made by a company called White Wizard. Have you played any of White Wizard's other games like Hero Realms, Cthulhu Realms, or any of their other games that they've developed?
No, no, just Star Realms.
Just Star Realms. Okay, so it's not necessarily that whole engine or mechanism.
It may be.
But might be, but you don't know. It's just Star Realms. Okay, excellent choice. And I was going to say that's the one nice thing about playing on the iOS is that it keeps track of whose turn it is, so you don't need the "it's your turn" marker.
Not as much of an issue in that game.
No, that's true. All right, so there we have the first half of Mick's top 10 favorite games of all time, number 10 through number 6.
The list of an amateur gamer.
The list. I like the list of an amateur. I'm going to make that like the thumbnail image of the video with a nice sepia tone to it. Some old-fashioned, old-timey lettering. It's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. I didn't need to say any of that out loud, though. Join us for our next video in this series, where we will conclude with the number 5 through 1 on your amateur yet completely viable list of games. And until then, be sure to check out both the Dice Tower and the Pair of Dice Paradise YouTube channels for more board game news, reviews, and commentary such as this. And also be sure to check out our Twitter and Facebook pages as well for more board game conversations. Till then, I've been Chaz Marler with my friend and co-host Mick. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
And it's kind of in my list for a kind of depressing reason.
Oh, perfect. That makes a good video.
And if that's wrong, please comment below.
Why do you just kick over a hornet's nest? Get us stung by 1,000 bees while you're at it. It's a bit short-sighted.
Siempre.
Gesundheit.
Okay. And so this, so to speak.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. All right, so there we have Mick's first half. Words. I need to use words. Do you Instagram?
No, I have MySpace.
Cool. I've known you since 1982, and I am still learning new things about you. It's amazing. All that surveillance gear down the drain. Wait.